What's up, man?
How are you, man?
Forgot to update the video. So mad.
How many of our shows start off with you and me just laughing?
Because something was crazy right before.
Yeah. Including
It's just part of it, man. It's part of it. So
it's a part of the game.
This is episode 70, not episode 69. So we'll laugh that one off and figure it out. But how's your Saturday going?
It's been good, man. Pretty busy, but good. Just wondering where winter is here in the Pacific Northwest, because it has not shown its face. It's gone down to Oxford, Mississippi instead. It's skipped us all
it's
around.
Hilarious that everyone has an ice storm and we just have like mild weather up here. But I'm not complaining. So it was nice and sunny today. I'll take it. But
yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the Sideline Podcast. This is episode 70. My name is Kevin Showalter. That's Jared Booker. If you love talking sports, building community, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Give us a follow on X. And we're here every Saturday, 6 p.m. plus or minus 6:10 tonight. But excited to talk some sports tonight. So we have on the show this evening, we've got some NFL walk-ons, Super Bowl predictions. Really excited for that. We're going to bring back an old segment of what's trending in sports here in the off season. We're still kind of looking into what the show looks like here in the off season, but I think it's something we're going to do on the regular of just kind of what's happening in the world of sports, and we'll touch on that. We've got our college football storylines. We'll recap the NFL Conference Championship games, and then we'll get into the Super Bowl preview and predictions. So without further ado, let's go ahead with our TSP walk-ons.
Seahawks win over the Patriots 27-24 Super Bowl Sunday. Let's go.
What's up, guys? Got a Super Bowl prediction for you. As a Pats fan, I'll be the first to say that Drake Maye has not played well in the playoffs. I think part of that can be attributed to the weather and the fact that he's played 3 top 5 defenses, which no quarterback has ever beat 3 top 5 defenses in one playoff run. I think that in order for the Patriots to win, Drake Maye is really going to have to step up, make some of the throws that we've seen him make in the regular season, and just do it more consistently. He looked pretty rough in the Broncos game, missing some pretty open throws. Kind of felt like the pressure was getting to him. You know, he's a young kid, kind of feeling just that, I've got to step up and lead my team. So I think if Drake Maye is able to ball out and, throw for, high 200s, low 300s, few touchdowns, they can get the job done. Their defense has played great. So my prediction is going to be Patriots 27, Seahawks 24.
Hey, this is Kirk from Seattle, talking about Super Bowl. I got Seahawks 38-13. It's an aggressive take, but I think it's one of those games that it's going to get out of hand in the second half. I think McDonald's defense is going to really kill it. JSN is going to have a big day. And K9, I think, is going to get back some of the touchdowns that Charbonnet would have gotten this year. And this one's going to be done by the start of the fourth quarter. Seahawks 38-13.
My official prediction for Super Bowl 60 is New England 26, Seattle 17. Go Pats.
How did the Seahawks win on Sunday? As they said in Top Gun, I feel the need for speed. Well, I'm here today to tell you I feel the need for some Rashid Shaheed. His speed could be real difference maker in the Super Bowl. He could do it the classic way, right? On special teams, he could return a punt or a kickoff for a game-breaking score. I get flashbacks to Percy Harvin flying down the field to open the second half for the Seahawks in the Super Bowl 12 years ago. Woo! Gives me goosebumps. Or Shaheed could do it by lining up as a wide receiver and going deep on a go route like he did against the Rams last week. Keep that defense honest, stretch out those safeties so that JSN and Cooper Kupp and Barner can get the easier stuff underneath. But what I'm thinking is actually that Shaheed could be a real good option in the run game. We don't have Zach Charbonnet. K9, Walker's going to need a break now and then. So why not mix in a nice fly sweep at least a couple of times? The Patriots have one of the worst run defenses in the league. I think they're down there around 29th or 30th. We need to exploit that, and I think Shaheed could help with that. The Seahawks are going to more than cover the spread. They're going to win by at least 10. Defense will dominate. They need to get home more than they did against Matthew Stafford, and I think they will. They got to contain that young fella, Drake Maye, make him beat us with his arm, not his feet. And that, I think, is a recipe for success. That and a little bit of Rashid Shaheed speed.
Oh, man. What wonderful walk-ons. And this is not up for dispute. So, and because I have the mic, I mean, I know you have a mic as well, so you can say no, you disagree, but I might have the coolest father-in-law in the entire world. Shout out to Matty Ice from Gig Harbor with that last
there we go.
Rashid Shaheed magic. I think he's on to something.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. So yeah, thank you, Matt, for sending that in and all the other walk-ons. It was a treat to have you on the show. So we've got a couple comments on YouTube as well. We've got some Seahawks easy. Looks like our only prediction so far on there. But yeah, anybody else watching along on YouTube, drop your Super Bowl predictions, who you think wins in the comments. That would be sweet. We'll put them up throughout the show. So let's go ahead and jump into some what's trending in sports. And the funny thing is with this graphic, if you're watching in the portrait version, I updated this and I just forgot to upload it. So we've got Joe Brady to the Buffalo Bills twice because
that's how excited we are about it.
It's such good news. But again, you jump in with any trending things that you've seen come across the X account this week. But I think the big news around sports, especially in the NFL, is just so many coaching hires. And so I have it in my notes here. We've got Joe Brady to the Bills, Jesse Minter to the Ravens, Stefanski to the Falcons, Salah/Dayball to the Titans, John Harbaugh Giants, Todd Monken the Browns, Jeff Hafley the Dolphins, Mike McCarthy the Steelers, and the Cardinals and Raiders are still looking. So it's interesting in this Super Bowl, we've got some recent coaching hires that have turned it around quickly. Of those 8 guys, 9 if we count Dayball, who do you think can turn around the ship fastest of the new coaching hires?
I hate to say this. I want to say the Buffalo Bills, but I think with the hire other than that I'm most excited about is actually John Harbaugh going to the Giants. I think that's a great fit. I think I understand the Ravens letting him go. He had a lot of success there, obviously with a Super Bowl included. But John Harbaugh with all that young talent, Scatabo, Dart, I think they're a playoff team next year, I believe. Obviously, I hope Joe Brady is able to get the Bills back into the playoffs and have some magic there. Mike McCarthy to the Steelers is the one that's maybe the most laughable to me.
Really?
He's kind of just a middling coach.
Yeah.
I'm not overly, I know he's passionate about the city. It's just, you're going from Mike Tomlin to Mike McCarthy. And so I have a hard time getting on board there.
Yeah.
You look like you may disagree with that.
I do. I think he's got, of these coaches, there's a lot of head scratchers in my estimation. Like Stefanski has not really done much for the Browns. Robert Saleh getting, like the Robert Saleh with Cam Ward fit. I'm like, I thought they would have brought in like a young offensive mind to kind of go with Cam Ward. So that was interesting. And then, the Dolphins and Browns are just, they're doing Dolphins and Browns type of stuff. But I think McCarthy's record speaks for itself. He's a Super Bowl champion. He wins more regular season games than Tomlin. And especially if Aaron Rodgers comes back, I think it's a perfect hire for the Steelers. But yeah, I think he's going to win games, and I'm thankful he's not coaching the Cowboys anymore. So yeah, I don't hate it. I don't it's not like they're guaranteed to win a Super Bowl next year. But of these hires, I think it's Joe Brady to the Bills for the continuity, and then I like Mike McCarthy is kind of my second. John Harbaugh is not that, you've had Lamar Jackson and an elite team for the last 3 or 4 years with nothing to show for it. First or second round playoff exits. He's had a long run in Baltimore. He's been a good coach, but I don't know. I'm not so, and that's just not my Eagles NFC East hate going there, but I'm not so sure he's just going to be an instant success in New York. But
that's fair. What about Robert? Sorry, I cut you off there. Robert Saleh. I posted something earlier this week on X. In 2021, the Tennessee Titans had head coach Mike Vrabel, running back Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, and Julio Jones at wide receiver, and then Ryan Tannehill, which I know he's had an up and down season, but that season he was the number 12 ranked quarterback in the league, and they still had a first-round exit to the Cincinnati Bengals. I saw people really excited about Robert Saleh. I'm just like, he doesn't have, you have Cam Ward, there's some young talent there, but like what they had, I don't know that it's a head coaching issue there as much as like, maybe some other back office things. But that's just a thought.
Yeah. When they traded AJ Brown, I mean, that was kind of the end of the era there in Tennessee. Like the wheels fell off the bus. So, I mean, it's a much easier market to coach in, being Tennessee and Nashville compared to the New York Jets. So there's a long history of coaches doing better in their second stop than their first, but well, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. And the Daboll fit with that. It'll be interesting to see if the Titans could do it. I think Cam Ward has great potential. We'll see if this is the regime to unleash that or not. But anything else popping off this week? We've got the Winter Olympics coming up here in a week or so. It's just a sad time of year, man. No more football. We've got one more NFL game. It's just the dog days of the off season already. But anything else buzzing on the internet, or we're full speed ahead on NHL and NBA stuff, which you love so much?
Oh yeah, absolutely love it. I mean, I think the Vikings firing their GM is, I mean, that's big news. But and you touched on that, but I don't know. One thing that I heard, I didn't read a heck of a lot about it, but one thing I heard is that he had like a press conference. They like allowed him to have this press conference and like talk about different things, and then like almost immediately after, they're like, "Hey, you want to step into our office? We've got some news to share." So I just thought that was a pretty interesting way to go about things. Do you think? I mean, what do you think about the Vikings over the next couple seasons here? I know the GM only has so much to do with it, but just kind of a big story.
Yeah, bizarre situation for sure. Like, I think he was down at the Senior Bowl doing his thing, scouting players, getting ready for the draft, and just they bring him back and just give him the axe. So it's interesting. I mean, he was in a tough situation last year with, like, you just drafted a first-round quarterback. You want to take advantage of quarterback on a rookie contract. Do you pay Darnold and have J.J. McCarthy? Like, it was a tough situation. He clearly chose wrong, and he's paying the price for it. So, I'm sure there's a lot of backstories, but I saw something right before the show, maybe an hour, that the Vikings are in cap like hell for the next couple of years. They've got like $75 million tied up with like 10 players or something like that. And so they are, not 75 million. That would be good. It was like 75% of the cap is in like 10 players on the Vikings. So whoever the new GM is, I think they've got one guy that's going to take over for the draft, but then they'll still look for a GM. Got some work to do, but clearly a talented roster. It'll be interesting. Do
you think a lot of the pressure came on that gentleman now that Sam Darnold is like in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is certainly, but the timing is interesting to like wait this late into the offseason. Like, just because Darnold made the Super Bowl, I don't know. The timing is bizarre. So
the final swing of the axe, man. Darnold makes the Super Bowl and they're like, yeah, we can't do this.
That's right. All right, let's go ahead and bring Duffy in here. What's up,
Duffy?
Dude, I know you said the winter has been avoiding y'all in the Pacific Northwest, but it's come to me, and I don't really appreciate that. So if we could spread it all back out, that would be great.
I had like 50 degrees and sunny today, man. I didn't know what to think. So, yeah.
And they're talking about this like bomb cyclone hitting the Carolinas. Like, what is going on in the South? What are you all doing down there?
Well, I mean, we weren't supposed to have any precipitation until like next Wednesday, and then just dropped 8 inches of snow last night out of nowhere. So,
gosh,
yeah,
geez. Well, welcome to the show. Hopefully you're staying warm and not driving out in that mess. But why don't we jump right into our college football storylines? What do you got here, Booker? Looks like you got some Deion Sanders, Diego Pavia just scratching right where you itch. So why don't you take us away with one of your storylines for this week?
All right, I'm going to start with the funniest one to me. That is Diego Pavia meeting his arch nemesis, and that is the tape measure. At Vanderbilt, he was listed 6 foot, 207 pounds. at the official Senior Bowl measurement, 5'9", and yes, they did say 7'8". So we're it's like when you're 3 or 4 years old and you're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm 3 3/4 years old.
Yeah.
So 5'9", 7 and 7/8, and then 198 pounds. My question is like, do they not own, like in college, do they just let these guys choose what they want to be listed at on the official website? What good does that actually do? It's less of a storyline and more of like what's going on here. Like that's a pretty significant difference for someone who's potentially who's looking to go to the NFL. So what's going on here? I think they need to make it all across the board. Just use the same tape measure.
Yeah, I think it happens a lot at different positions. Like they're rounding up, especially when I first saw it, I thought it was like clickbaity, but you're saying it is the official measurement from the Senior Bowl. Like, what is it, 5'9" and 7 or 5'8" and 7/8? It's like he's not even 5'9".
5'9" and 7/8 is what
just about 5'10".
Just about.
Just almost there. In cleats, he's playing at 5'10". I don't know. I mean, the ethics of like reporting and stats and stuff like on roster forums. I think a lot of players are doing that, whether it be their weight or their height. I mean, you see that in the NBA, I think too. Like, I don't know, LeBron's listed at like 6'8", but he's probably walking around like 6'10". So I don't know. I'm not too worried about that. I think the height thing is an issue in the NFL. Like it's not like a deal breaker fully, but it certainly is hard to see over, a bunch of trees in front of you. If you can't see over your offensive lineman, that is a problem. So I don't know.
Yeah, and Kyler Murray, like also a very short quarterback, but the man's got wheels. Pavia doesn't have the same wheels as Kyler Murray. What do you think about all this, Duff?
Yeah, I agree with the Kyler Murray thing. I think physically they're around the same. Pavia's a little thicker, a little bit bigger, but I mean less athletic. And I would argue not as good of a passer as Kyler was coming out of college. So I don't know. I think I'm maybe one of the few people that's ready for the Pavia show to be over.
Yeah, you're not alone in that.
Two against one here. 2 against 1.
Yeah.
I'm going Team Pavia, man. I think Kyler, like, he might be faster, and even if he throws a twitch better, it's like the gaming, the distractions, Kyler should have went and played baseball. He's just, I don't know. I mean, he got a $200 million contract, so good for him. But I think Pavia's leadership, and I know he's questionable at times, but like he can galvanize some boys on a football field, and I think that will translate better than Kyler, waiting for the newest Call of Duty to come out. So let's just go ahead and get both of your not hot takey storylines, but what do you got here on Deion Sanders? And then we'll get into some college football schedule release.
Okay. Well, before I do that too, I do want to say, like, I understand fudging a little bit on numbers. If I took out my driver's license for the state of Washington, you best believe I put down like I'm a Ken Barbie, like $195, 6'5". So I get that, but I'm not a professional athlete. I'm just someone who gets pulled over. Like I want the cop to like think like, oh man, okay, this is good, pretty. Anyway, it happens. So my next one is Deion Sanders. And actually, so I'm not throwing shade at Deion Sanders here, guys. And this is a different speed, a different gear altogether as it has been in the past. I actually really like what he's doing here. So he decided to start charging fines to players. There's a list of different fines, including like you miss practice, you have to pay this much. You're late to practice, you get paid. I actually really like that. I'd love to get your guys' take on that. To me, you're going to pay these guys NIL money, and then there's no accountability to hurt their wallet. I think that's just a little bit backwards and uneven. So I really like that. I'm not sure where that money goes. I don't think it probably goes right into Deion Sanders' bank account. But I really like that. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I really like it in theory. I am curious because I saw the numbers attached to it, and they are pretty hefty. So I'm curious if there's like variable scale to those payments for how much money you make versus like walk-on guys. Because like you can't, like one of them, like if you miss practice, it's like $5,000. And if a walk-on guy misses a practice, you can't fine that kid $5,000. He is not going to have $5,000 to pay you. So I think in theory, it's a great idea. I would love to see the details of it, like really of how it all is going to work and where the money's going to go also.
Yeah.
I thought I heard, I don't know if it was Nick Saban or it was a coach. It was a coach on some other sports show or something. And they were talking about like guys not showing up to meetings, pretty much the exact same thing that you're describing here. But I think it was Nick Saban, and obviously he was pre NIL era, but his dudes were still making some money, and he was pretty just point blank like, hey, you want to get guys' attention, like final. They won't show up to meetings, they won't, get the grades that they need to get, but you start touching their bank account, it gets their attention. So yeah, I think if they're making money, like that seems fair game to find them and treat them like the adults that they are. I mean, you're a grown man like in college, but you should be held accountable. So I think it's a good thing. Look at you giving Deion some love. It's
you might need to make a short out of that because it's not going to happen again.
Yeah. There we go. All right. So a story. Well, let's touch on this one. It's kind of our background here. Darian Mensah to Miami. My quick question for you guys here: do we think he's better or worse than Carson Beck for Miami next year? Better as a quarterback. You think he's gonna be better with them? Yep.
Yeah, night and day. I think he's a better quarterback all around. And he's bringing with him Cooper Barcate, who is a stud, just PPR guy. I mean, if we're talking fantasy football terms, I think Miami actually might be a better team next year than they were this year. I'm not saying that they will get the same result, but as far as talent around them, and just solid quarterback play, I actually really like this for ALO in the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of Duke this year, so I don't have a ton to stand on this, but it's hard for me to believe that they're going to go pay a guy out of the portal that's not going to be better than he was most of last year. So,
yep. He was a late signing. I don't know how many quarterbacks are still available. Maybe this might have been a back channel thing, or because I know Cristobal came out like before the Natty and was like pretty much like not wanting to talk about the quarterbacks or something like that. So it sounded like they had something in the works behind the scenes. For whatever reason, they didn't announce it until after. So, but
I think because they had he was committed to Duke and it signed like I'm going to put contract in quotations because those mean nothing in college football, but he had to basically like pay a fine or adjust that, whatever money he received to stay at Duke in order to get out of that. Which is a whole nother storyline in and of itself. If a guy like Damon Williams at University of Washington, he's staying at University of Washington, but you can't erase the past. He said he didn't want to be there. He was going for more money, and now he's going to be the starting quarterback. Like you can't. There's no amount of money that can buy back that look in the locker room when you're trying to lead a team and you tried to get out early. So I think Duke did the right thing. Try to recoup some of the money and let him go because he doesn't want to be there anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be some sort of check and balance there on. I mean, again, most of these guys are just signing 1-year deals, except for Bryce Underwood. But it's the Wild West, like we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Let's transition here into Big Ten schedule for this coming season. So you have to squint if you're looking at this graphic on your phone. But just a snapshot of the Big Ten schedule for next year. What stands out to you guys? Who do we think has the easiest schedule, the hardest schedule? Any key matchups you're looking forward to here in the Big Ten 2026?
Yeah, I think a sleeper good game. I don't have any super massive opinions about these schedules as a whole, but I think Wisconsin might actually be decent next year. So I think Wisconsin Notre Dame in week 1 could be a pretty interesting matchup.
Yeah, I want to highlight Northwestern. I read an article earlier this week that Northwestern has one of the toughest schedules in the Big Ten, and I think you can see that reflected here. Indiana, Penn State. I mean, I'm assuming Penn State's going to be a better team this year than they were last year. Oregon, Iowa was no slouch. Ohio State, Illinois hasn't been, an easy rollover team. So I think that's a pretty tough schedule as far as what I'm looking at here. I still am a bit of a SEC homer guy, so I'm thinking the schedules on the other side of this next slide here are going to be a bit tougher week in and week out. But I did want to give credit to Northwestern, man. They've got quite the gauntlet next year.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I think Penn State drew the easiest schedule in the Big Ten by far, especially with Matt Campbell, Rocco Beck. Like I'm excited. Like maybe Michigan is a 1 loss, but like you said, Wisconsin might be better. So I think the game I'm excited for is the Penn State Michigan week 7. Like, okay, what does the like that's been the problem for Penn State the last 5 to 10 years, even with James Franklin, is like you beat everybody, but you don't beat the big teams. And so I want to see how Matt Campbell does against a Michigan. I can't tell, is that away or home or away? It looks like it is away, so even better. On the road against Michigan. Let me see that. Let's what does Indiana got here? They've got Ohio State. Oh, that was the big story this week. Ohio State, Michigan, back-to-back weeks. Just a brutal setup there for Sig. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Indiana is going to fare just fine. Although it would not surprise me one bit. Ohio State, I think they're going to. They probably. I'm calling it now. I think Ohio State ends up winning that game. I just think to try to beat them again, there's just such a bad taste in their mouth that Indiana's going to have to bring their game. But I know Signetti is going to do just that and prepare those boys for the war that's going to be. I don't see Michigan being as challenging of a game. I do think they'll be better this year, but they've just had so much going on in this past year. I think they're still 1 or 2 years away from really being contenders.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. So much is made of Indiana, but I just saw it as well that Oregon has those two back-to-back as well, right? Am I seeing that correctly? Yeah, they got Ohio State and Michigan. So interesting format here for some of these teams. Sorry, Duff, what were you going to say there?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm guessing the SEC sets their conference schedules years in advance, and I'm assuming the Big Ten does as well. But I mean, talk about a brutal attempt to go back to back. They did not make it easy on them.
I wanted to circle back on if we have time, the Penn State schedule, man. I'm a little disappointed. I know what Duffy just said is true. They probably set that stuff up years in advance. But a weak schedule for Penn State just doesn't seem right to me. That tells me they absolutely have to win out to make. I mean, you drop any of those games, even to Michigan, I think that you're not, because then your only loss is against a Michigan team and you've beaten all these other teams. Like for Penn State to make the playoff next year, they probably have to go undefeated in the regular season. That's just the nature of having a pretty weak schedule.
Yeah, one loss might get them into the Big Ten championship with just Indiana's schedule, Ohio State's schedule, Oregon. Like, if they have one loss and they go to the Big Ten championship, yeah, we'll see how. But yeah, they better put up or shut up with this kind of schedule. So,
I do think there's some question marks on that schedule though. Like SC could be good this year, UW could be good this year.
Yeah,
Wisconsin could be better. So I think it could end up being a tougher schedule than we think, but as of right now, that's got to be the most favorable draw.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, let's jump here to
there's the sweet SEC.
There you guys
Thank you.
See, you go SEC, but then just recently, I thought you were saying the Big Ten is taking over the top of the mountain in college football. So
I think that the field has been evened because of NIL, but the SEC is still the SEC, baby.
Yeah. All right, same question. Who's got the easiest, hardest schedule here? Key matchups. What are you guys excited for in 2026?
Yeah, I'll start it off. I think the hardest is a competition between Tennessee. Got a pretty rough draw. I think you pick up Alabama, you get Texas, you get LSU, Vanderbilt, and I think Arkansas's got it pretty tough too. They get Utah. I think that game's on the road in week 2, that's not on the SEC, but then they've got a pretty good gauntlet in there too. So,
yeah, I'm not sure I'm seeing a weak schedule in here because they all eat each other up throughout the regular season. Yeah. So any number of these teams, they're going to have to face they're facing a gauntlet to a degree. I'm not sure who has the toughest schedule. It's hard for me to tell. Although Texas, you've got Texas in here in week 2 at Ohio State. So just adding. They're playing the SEC schedule, and then they're like, oh yeah, I guess they did a home and home deal, and so they're taking Ohio State in week 2, which is just adding more difficulty to the already difficult schedule.
And like you said, it's like they've scheduled that game years in advance, but is that going to keep Texas out of a playoff again next year because they're going to have they might have an extra loss and then go through the gauntlet of the SEC. So we've got to expand the playoff, man. Got to get up to 50, 55 teams, and then they'll make it. So,
well, I see though Texas doesn't have Georgia. I'm not seeing them having Alabama either. So they do have some tough, Ole Miss. We'll see what they end up doing. Florida, Oklahoma is probably going to be back. We'll see how Mizzou does, and then A&M at the end of the year there. But it really kind of gets. I think that might be the weakest as far as SEC schedules go. Taking out that week 2 against Ohio State, not playing Georgia or Alabama. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Missouri is pretty favorable in there too. They don't really pick up. I mean, they get Texas, and I guess they get Georgia, but not too bad.
The latter half of the year looks pretty tough for.
Is Pavia Lagway's their quarterback, right? Lagway went to Missouri? Is that right?
No, Lagway's going to Baylor.
To Baylor, that's right. So who's Missouri quarterback next year?
That's a really good question.
That's a good question.
That is such a good question. Does anyone in the chat know?
I think Fabiola entered the portal, but I didn't hear big news about where he went. But yeah.
Austin Simmons, it looks like, transferred from Ole Miss. It looks like Austin Simmons will be there, and he's a stud.
Yeah, interesting. Well, any other thoughts on college football before we send Duffy?
The only other thought I have, and then Duffy, you can send a final thought as well, is if someone can create a time machine that I can go into until end of August, early September, so we can get back to college football, that'd be great. Just send me a DM at TSP_Booker. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I would say yes, but I'm a little bit of a sucker for college baseball. I love that. So let's get through like the beginning of the summer, and then let's just skip the summer portion, get right into week 0. That'd be great.
Yep.
There you go.
You stay safe out there in that southern ice storm. We'll keep enjoying our sunshine and 50 degrees up here in the Pacific Northwest, just like the weather drew it up. But stay safe out there in the ice, and we'll see you again. Thanks for being on the show, Duff.
Thanks, Duff.
All right. Thank you guys for taking some time out of your busy day to spend with us, talk some sports. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate that. It really helps us out. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, if you haven't already, drop your comment on who you think is going to win the Super Bowl, Seahawks or Patriots. Throw a score in there, and that would be awesome. So without further ado, let's get back into it. So let's go ahead. We got Tyler. Let's get Alo in here as well. How we doing, fellas?
What's up, guys?
Well, now that I saw that SEC schedule that Indiana would just walk through any of those, I'm pretty fired up to discuss the rest of this. Yeah.
Alo, how's the weather down there in Miami? You guys got us,
dude.
You're still 75 and sunny.
No, it's like 20 degrees here. That's why I got the flu. It's so cold. I'm so used to like 100. I went and played basketball, and now it's like, dude, right now you can hear the wind. It's like 20 with wind.
That's crazy.
In Miami?
No, I'm in Stewart. It's like 2 hours away from Miami, but it's still South Florida though.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's got to be historic.
I'm 2 hours from Seattle, but I'm still in Seattle, and I can't believe I've got the nicest weather of here right now. Is crazy. So, Tyler, you got ice storm, snow. What do you got going on over there?
I got it all, man. I got it all. I got 10 inches of snow, a little bit of ice mixed in there. It's been like negative degrees here. It's not been fun. But hey, we got the trophy hoisted in time. They had the party, and then they went and smacked Purdue on the basketball side. So what more can you ask for? It warmed my heart enough that I didn't even have to worry about the snow.
I got to ask you, Tyler. People just absolutely trashing on Indiana fans because they didn't show up for the the stadium wasn't absolutely packed for the trophy, but it was like, I don't know, minus 60 degrees out there, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it was really cold, but not only that, but by the end of that day, the roads were supposed to be terrible. So I kind of was surprised they didn't move it, honestly, and seeing it in real time, I was like, oh man, that's super. And Signetti, he looked like he wasn't happy. It looked like it did chap him just a little bit, but then again, that might be his normal state without a nice logger to wash down the woes. But I think it was because of what was coming. By by Saturday night, everything was covered. Like the salt trucks weren't out there. So I think that's what kept people away, was worrying about being able to get home afterwards.
That's fair. Resting sig face is just a permanent thing, man.
It's true. It's true.
Right. That's right. All right. So we're going to do this a little bit different. We aren't going to get straight. Since we only have one game, there's not really around the horn of games to go for. So what I thought we'd do this week is we're each going to make our defense for each of the teams. So we'll start off with the Patriots here. My question for you fellas is what, why, or how can New England win this Super Bowl? I think both teams are legit, have good defense, good offense. But yeah, what are your keys to the game? We'll make our picks here at the end of the show, but let's all just we'll take a turn defending the Patriots, and then we'll give the Seahawks to go. So Booker, why don't you get us started on why the New England Patriots can win the Super Bowl yet again?
Well, I loved one of our walk-ons there, and I'm spacing his handle, but he did say, they've beat 3 of the top 5 defenses here in the playoffs to get to where they're sitting. And so I think it's more a product of their defense than a product of their offense. Drake Maye has been, it's his second year. So let's give the man a chance here. But the fact that he's in the Super Bowl is pretty wild. I think that he's going to have to play out of his mind. And I know I'm having a hard time staying on this is why the Pats are going to win. I don't think that that's going to happen. But for the sake of this segment here, the Pats are going to have to play so well defensively, and I think they can do that. Christian Gonzalez is going to have to put JSN on an island, and that defensive line is going to have to get to Sam Darnold and cause some chaos and make him make some mistakes, which he is prone to doing. He's a turnover merchant, or at least in some games he has shown to be that. So the Patriots win this game if that defense plays with their hair on fire. And Drake Maye doesn't turn the ball over and is able to use his legs a little bit.
Tyler, what are your thoughts on this game?
Listen, maybe it's the Avengers Doomsday trailers coming out, and I am the resident nerd here. Vrabel might be Thanos. Honestly, he's just inevitable. He couldn't get it done in Tennessee, and where did that lead the NFL? To Vrabel on the Patriots, right back in the Super Bowl. So he just might be inevitable. He might just be able to just be this coaching genius, and got into a place where you got Drake maybe can do enough to get it done. Shout out to cousin Sal on the Bill Simmons podcast for that nickname of Drake maybe. He might be able to just do enough that Vrabel's defensive genius is able to get it done. So there does seem a lot of weapons on that side of the ball. They have a great 1-2 punch in the run game, and then he seems to find the open receivers when he needs to. So that's my case for it. Vrabel's just too much. He was inevitable. He was going to get another ring as a coach, and it was just the Titans that was holding him back.
Definitely the Titans. Alo, what's your case for the Patriots?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I love the Thanos reference. I can't wait to see those two, the brand new day trailer as well. But I was gonna say for me, I think we all know that Sam Darnold played a great game a week ago, but he has turned the ball over before. He's not. In big games he's folded too. So it's not. And the Patriots defense has played just as good as the Seattle Seahawks defense. So I can see them pulling it off too. But the thing my main thing on who needs to play the best is Drake Maye. It's between him and Matthew Stafford to win MVP, and he has to play at an MVP level, because the problem is if Seattle, if Darnold struggles and throws 4 interceptions, we've seen them still almost beat the Rams. So I think if he does throw picks and he does struggle, the Patriots need to take advantage of it, and Drake Maye needs to take advantage of it. And they could possibly win a Super Bowl. We all know that the best team doesn't always win the Super Bowl. We've watched Super Bowls. We know that. And the Patriots could have the best game that they had, but it's going to take Drake Maye to win that game for sure.
Yeah, a lot of common themes here. We've got a lot of Drake Maye. I'm going to lean where Tyler was there with Mike Vrabel. I think he's just a better coach in this matchup, and especially in the game of football, coaching matters more than an NBA or a baseball, where you can have a dominant pitcher and win a World Series, or you can have a dominant Shohei and just win everything. But yeah, I think Vrabel is the better coach. Not only was he in these type of games as a player, but I think he's going to win this chess match between. And again, I think a lot of the narrative, Sam Darnold has kind of gotten over that hump, but I don't know, that history is still there. A younger coach in McDonald. I think Vrabel is the X factor, and he's gonna be able to have this game figured out. I know the Seahawks are heavy favorites, but that's even more rocket fuel for Mike Vrabel to fuel up the boys. So I joked with you fellas, and then if they're down early, I could even see him ripping off the shirt, throwing on some shoulder pads, and going out there for a couple tight end routes at this stage in his career. But any other thoughts on the Patriots before we jump over to the Seahawks?
One last thought. It was let's see here, and I've got the last time the Patriots won or entered the Super Bowl as underdogs was Tom Brady's first full season in New England in 2002. They won outright 20-17, but that was the last time they had a Super Bowl where they closed as the underdog.
Things I didn't want to hear, being the also Patriots hate watch of the Super Bowl here as a Colts fan.
And even Drake Maye, his legs, I just, when I think about these two quarterbacks in that AFC Championship game, he sealed the game with his legs. He's just, you see a Patriots quarterback running, and you're like, that ain't Tom Brady anymore. So it just, I think that is going to be a big difference. Both of these defenses are good, like Alo mentioned. I think Drake Maye has the ability to extend plays, get first downs with his legs. Sam Darnold, he's a sneaky athlete, but he's going to rumble for some first downs, but not quite the speed that Drake Maye has. So yeah, I'm excited. I think this is going to be a great Super Bowl. 2 14-3 teams. I'm excited for it. So other than the Eagles not being in it, obviously. All right, let's transition here. So let's talk about the Seahawks. Same questions. Let's get Alo back in here. So before we make our picks, we'll do the same thing. Let's give a couple reasons on why we think the Seahawks can win. Like I was just mentioning, both teams are good. I think it's not going to surprise anybody if either team wins. But yeah, let's make our case here for the Seahawks. Tyler, why don't you kick us off on this one?
Listen, if Vrabel is Thanos, then JSN may just be Tony Stark in another body. That man seems unstoppable as well and just finds a way to win regardless. It seems like teams will hold him in check for a little bit, or maybe he pops off and then they'll hold him in check. But at the end of the game, when it's clutch time, Sam Darnold has been able to lean on him to get the job done. So if he's able to continue to pop off, if he figures out Vrabel in that defense and finds the open spots, finds ways to get open, and gives Darnold his chance at the redemption arc, it would be pretty sweet to see that as well. Just Darnold has a chance to get back at the Patriots, who made him see ghosts, was part of the reason that his demise was so quick there in New York. So I think it'd be a great redemption arc for him. And then you have that defense that is sneaky good for the Seahawks. They know how to crank up the heat in the right time as well. It's just the Seahawks seems like a team that refuses to die, even though everybody's kind of been looking for the excuse of why they won't get past the next game. And yet here they are in the Super Bowl. So they very much could find another way to win the big one.
Yeah, absolutely. Alo, what's your thoughts on the Seahawks?
Hey Ty, if JSN is what'd you say, Tony Stark, then my boy Sam Darnold's Dr. Doom. Because that man is going to light it up this game. I'm just telling you right now, I think Sam Darnold wins MVP. It's between him or JSN. But I just think it's so much easier. Like, I literally said it before, like, he threw 4 picks and lost the game 19-17. We saw the Patriots beat on the Chargers. No offensive line. We see them beat on the Texans. I don't even think CJ should have finished that game. If Mills comes in, they might go to the AFC Championship. Then they beat the Broncos without Bo Nix. Let's be honest. If Bo Nix plays, they're going to the Super Bowl. So for me, I just think Sam Darnold, he literally just does not have to turn the ball over, and I think they win the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, he has the best wide receiver in the league now and a great defense. So I just think what makes it hard for the Patriots and Drake Maye is Drake Maye has to play like Patrick Mahomes, out of his mind, have his best game. Sam Darnold doesn't. He could throw for 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and they probably win. Because he has Walker, too. I think he's going to take off, too. So, yeah, I just think I know why everybody's picking the Seahawks. Like you said, I get the wheels on Drake Maye, but it's just, for me, it's just Sam Darnold has to do so little to win, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks, I mean, they are just such a well-balanced team.
Yeah.
Top to bottom. I mean, so many games this year, it's been this, the special teams wins a game, the defense wins a game. You've got the top receiver in the NFL this year with stats. So they can beat you a lot of different ways. I think this comes down to the Seahawks defense has to win the turnover battle. They've got to force Drake Maye to cough it up. If the Patriots can get a lead and lean on the run game and aren't turning the ball over, it could be a long day for the Seahawks. But yeah, I think that the Seahawks defense does what they've been doing all year, forcing some turnovers, winning the special teams battle. I think they are the better overall team. Does that mean I'm picking them? We will see. So, Booker, what are your thoughts on the Seahawks here?
Just leaving us in suspense. Oh my gosh. I'm actually not a Seahawks fan. Live in the state, not a Seahawks fan. Mike McDonald has been such an impressive coach this year and what he's been able to do. I believe the Seahawks were like 4-13 last year. Crazy turnaround, made some great moves as an organization, and here they are in the Super Bowl. I agree with what you said, Kevin. I think that they are such a well-rounded team. We did have a comment in here about Christian Gonzalez and how he's going to lock up JSN. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he locks up JSN. The issue is that they have other ways to hurt you, and then they have the defensive side of the ball. So between Kenneth Walker, Cooper Kupp is still out there, and he's not at the end of his career either. Maybe if they win the Super Bowl, he's done, but he's not done yet. And I think he's going to play a big part in this. I think another aspect to keep in mind is that the Seattle Seahawks have tight ends that are good blockers. They're not just good pass catchers. They're actually just really good blockers. And so protecting Sam Darnold is going to be the key, making it so that, no mistakes are made because he's under pressure all of the time. Then you got Kenneth Walker doing his thing with a well-balanced running attack. The Seattle defense, though, as long as they don't make any dumb mistakes like Reek Woolen taunting the other team. I think that the game last week against the LA Rams is actually a different score altogether without that undisciplined penalty by Reek Woolen, which, turns into a Puka Nacua touchdown for the Rams. And so you've got, let's see here, on the defensive side of the ball, DeMarcus Lawrence, Leonard Williams, they've been playing lights out. Nick Emanwuri it's his first, I believe it's his first year here, and he's just tearing it up. Devon Witherspoon, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. So they're just so balanced. They can hurt you in so many different ways. If the Seattle Seahawks win, it's because of their balanced attack on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other thoughts on this game?
I just like how it's two teams that we probably didn't expect to be there in the beginning of the year, to be honest. I do like that.
Just to speak to that, they were both entering the season. They were both 60-1 to win the Super Bowl, and the Patriots were as long as 120-1 after week 3. And so, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. No one was expecting both of these teams to meet in the Super Bowl.
I wanted to say, Tyler, I was wrong. Dr. Doom isn't Sam Darnold. It's Mike McDonald, because he got Sam Darnold to the Super Bowl. That's crazy work. I would never thought in my lifetime of seeing Sam Darnold, he would make a Super Bowl and be the starting quarterback, because he made on the 49ers as the backup quarterback. So
it's a heck of a redemption arc if he pulls it off. And he got a GM fired on the way. Vikings kicked him out the door because Sam Darnold made it to the Super Bowl, and it could have been them. So
absolutely.
Never underestimate Sam Darnold's reach, boys. Just don't do it.
Yeah. No. One final thought before we make our picks. The Patriots were middle of the road in the regular season in sacks. In the postseason, they're leading all teams with 12 sacks.
Wow.
Over 2 or 3 games. So I think it is going to come down to which D-line can make the other quarterback uncomfortable. We've seen that in so many Super Bowls, even the old days of Tom Brady, like when those Giants, Michael Strahan type teams could make him uncomfortable, it will control the game. Both of these quarterbacks, if they've got all day to sit back there and fling the ball, they're going to be able to, make some magic. But I think it's going to come down to the trenches like it typically does. So, all right, let's go ahead and make our picks. We will make our picks. These will be semi-official, but then also we've got a week to stew on it, and we've got another show next week we reserve the right to change our mind. I don't know, Booker, if you're going to be here or not, but we'll still let you change your pick even if you're not on the show next week. So we're making our picks. We're confident, but we do reserve the right to change our mind with a week out until the Super Bowl. So, Booker, why don't you take it away? Who you like in this game? Let's just pick it straight up. I mean, we've got the spread 4.5 for the Seahawks, but I think that number is probably going to come down the closer to the game we get. But let's just go money line here. Who we think wins? Who wins the Super Bowl this year? Go ahead, Book.
I think I'm picking the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl this year. I just think that we go back to the balance. The balance wins. If you're one-dimensional, you're gonna have a hard time winning a Super Bowl. And I'm not saying the Patriots are one-dimensional, but I think the balance that the Seahawks have on all levels is going to eventually win out. So give me the Seahawks.
Okay, Tyler.
So I mentioned it earlier that the Seahawks defense was the sneaky good one, because I think everybody's going to be talking about Vrabel and the Patriots defense. Exactly what you said, Kevin. They got hot at the right time, sacking. But I think some of that is inflated from a Broncos game that was pretty messy and had a backup quarterback in it and all that. So give me the Seahawks here. I think Sam Darnold does pull off the full redemption. I think it's by more than 4.5. I think they're going to cover. I think they handle it pretty well. I think that Seahawks defense is going to be all over Drake Maye, and he does get loose a little bit with the legs, but not near enough offense to keep up with the Seahawks on the other side of the ball.
Alo?
Hear me out on this one.
Oh, here we go.
My 2 favorite quarterbacks of all time. One of my 2 favorite. Eli Manning and Nick Foles. Want to know why? Because they both beat the Patriots. And my next quarterback on that list is going to be Sam Darnold.
There we
As
go.
a Dolphins fan, I will never take the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Give me Sam Darnold, JSN to take off. I don't care what Gonzalez says. He could be on an island. He hasn't gone up against nobody like JSN. He's going to route him up. Sam Darnold's going to host the Super Bowl trophy and MVP. Let's go Seahawks.
Y'all are drinking that Indiana Kool-Aid, man. Wanting the redemption.
It's great.
Let me play the emperor here, Kevin. Come over to the dark side. Let the hate consume you.
I hate the Patriots, and so I'm not picking the Patriots because I like them, but they are inevitable. I think Mike Vrabel is going to win the Patriots this game. I don't see the Seahawks covering or winning this one. I think the running attack for the Patriots, the defense, I don't even think they're going to go. I saw something today. The Seahawks are like, I can't remember what the stat is, so I'm going to butcher it if I try, but pretty much they dice you up if you play man-to-man. If you play zone, it's like a whole other story. And so I think the Patriots are going to come out and zone all the amoebas, all the pressures, and Sam Darnold's going to be seeing ghosts out there like he's back on the Jets. So I don't like it, but Mike Vrabel, we've got who's their offensive coordinator? Like it's back in 2007 again. Not McDaniels, right?
Yeah, Josh. I believe it's Josh
McDaniels. I mean, I didn't say I like it, and I'm not. I mean, again, I'm here. I'm not just trying to tick off my high school students that are all Seahawks fans. I just think the Patriots are going to get this one done. And so, yeah, I'm taking the Patriots. I reserve the right to change my mind, but I don't think I will. I feel pretty good about this one. And it's worked when I've swam upstream on these picks this year. It's usually worked out for me, but we'll see. We'll see.
I've got 2 questions for you guys here. The first one's rhetorical and the other one's a real one. So the rhetorical question here is, who in their right mind would have said Indiana wins the national title in 2025 and Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl? I don't know who, but that is pretty wild. And then what's the over-under on? Because I know that teams have these trick plays. They don't always run them. I think you empty the playbook out on the Super Bowl. You can't take plays into the new season. Like, empty it out. What's the over-under on Jalen Milroe getting a scramble into the end zone?
I bet it's awesome odds for his +-1 TD.
Yeah,
I would guess it's very, very good odds. Very good odds.
Has he scored at all this year, or not? Not at all. You're just you're speculating.
I'm speculating 100%.
Yeah,
he's got wheels. The man's got wheels, and they're missing. They've got Zach Charbonnet is out.
Yeah,
throw that guy in there and mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, is it Halani? George Halani, is that his
Yep.
name? He did well. I mean, he did well in the last game. That one drop was more on Darnold than on him, but I think he did well. And it's feed Kenny Walker is the move. But again, the trenches. I think the Patriots have a good chance. Big Milt Williams in the middle of the line there, Super Bowl champion, defending Super Bowl champion for the Eagles, and I think he's going to stuff that run, and it's going to be a tough day, but we'll see.
Listen, Sam Darnold's not the only one with a little history here of choking in big moments. Stephon Diggs thus far has made it through the playoffs without that one boneheaded play.
Can't wait for it.
Can he get through one more game without making that one boneheaded play?
It's going to be the Super Bowl.
It might very well be.
They don't even feature. I mean, he's had some big games, but it's going to be the Hunter Henry show. They're going to be running the ball. They can spread it around and not necessarily need him to, this isn't 2015 Stephon Diggs, but I don't know. Yeah, he might have a boneheaded one in there for sure.
Oh, I think Cardi B has even caught a pass this year for Drake Maye.
All righty.
True.
Thank you.
We'll get some more time next week to preview the game and come at it maybe from some different angles. But thank you, everybody, for spending some time this evening with us here on TSP Sideline Podcast. You can follow ALO Leagues on Twitter, Tyler at Mr. Diesel 31. I almost said Mr. Diesel X. I know that's probably somebody else's account. Mr. Diesel 31, TSP Booker, TSP Kevin, HTX Balco. So until next week, we will see you guys later. Have a good rest of your weekend, and peace out.